So that's kind of one of the most important things about Kant. He recognized, if any way, the limitations placed upon human reason. His most famous work is The Critique of Pure Reason, which was published in 1781. And true to his title, it critiqued that idea. He really talked about knowledge, like some of the other guys that we've looked at, discussed. He said that knowledge begins with our experiences. That does not sound any different than the other guys we've talked about. But he said that we have minds that are pre-programmed. We have minds that have certain categories that are already put in them that use these categories to actually view knowledge in different ways. So that made him very different from, say, John Locke, who said we begin as a blank slate. He ultimately argued there were two realms that all things exist in. There was the phenomenal realm, and there was the noumenal realm. The phenomenal realm, he argued, is everything that's manifest, everything that is seen, everything that we can experience through the senses. And he said that all of our actual knowledge, all of the application of reason that we have is applied to that phenomenal realm. It's limited to it. And we can only look at the phenomenal realm and make categories of thought. Like we can make a category of that's a plant, that's an animal, that's a mineral, that's a food. We can make those kind of categories, for example. The noumenal realm is a little bit different in Kant's thinking. He argued the noumenal realm is what he called the Ding in sich, which means the thing in itself. This includes our actual selves. He actually made this whole point that we are ourselves as individuals. Even though we have knowledge of each other in the phenomenal realm, there's a true self that's out there in this noumenal realm that no knowledge can ever know. He also said that God, of course, is in that noumenal realm. And so therefore, we can never actually know God from our own senses, from our own experiences, from our own knowledge. Now, if you stop there, you could then maybe make the argument that you need revelation to actually know God. The thing is that revelation, specifically in the book of Romans, specifically in Romans chapter 1, will tell you that God has clearly made his attributes known through what he has made. And so we can, of course, know God and know him best through the scriptures, but we can also know God through general revelation, what he has made, and our own consciences, for example, that actually have a sense of what is right from what is wrong. So as R.C. Sproul has pointed out, either Paul, who wrote Romans, is wrong, or Immanuel Kant is wrong when he says that we can never know God from anything that we actually experience. What's curious about this is that even though Immanuel Kant has a great respect for the scriptures and knew them well, what's curious about it is that because our knowledge of this world, something that you could actually unpack in philosophy, because he can only deal with things in this world, he still made it a very big deal, and he tended to separate revelation of the scriptures from reason. Whereas the previous Christian thinkers of the area of Christendom, especially somebody like Thomas Aquinas, they saw no separation needed. They saw no conflict between human reason and revelation. After all, they argued God is a reasonable God who has made a reasonable people. If there is a fault anywhere to be found, it's to be found in us because our reason is fallen.